Sure.
The Mexican ambassador to the United States recently has made some comments about Fast and Furious that Mexico was unaware of, to quote, Mexico was never apprised how the operation would be designed and implemented, talked about the fact that Fast and Furious has hurt the relationship between the United States and Mexico. I'm not surprised that he would say something like this. We constantly talk, as we should, about the Americans that were killed in Fast and Furious, but there were apparently, according to the Mexican news reports, hundreds of Mexican nationals killed because of Fast and Furious. The last time you were here, you answered a question and you said more people will probably die because of Fast and Furious. Do you know how many people in Mexico have been killed as a result of the United States helping to facilitate straw purchases of automatic weapons going down to Mexico? Do you know how many?
I don't know, but I would think that there have been some, and I know that given the 64,000 guns that have gone from the United States to Mexico, that Mexican citizens, Mexican law enforcement officers have lost their lives as a result of guns that started in the United States but ended up in Mexico.
How many of the guns have been recovered of the total number in Fast and Furious? And get different numbers. I've heard 1,200, heard 2,000. How many guns have been recovered in Mexico that were the result of guns involved in the Fast and Furious operation?
I don't know that number.
Any guess at all? Do you know? I mean, that was the purpose, was it not, of Fast and Furious, to sort of keep up with the firearms when they go to Mexico and see where they were used in a crime scene and then who the bad guys were? Wasn't that sort of the purpose?
Yeah,
veiled purpose?
That was the stated purpose, as it was in Wide Receiver and the previous attempts at dealing with the flow of guns from the United States to Mexico, none of which were ultimately successful, and all of which allowed guns to be inappropriately put into the stream of commerce.
How many guns have been recovered on Fast and Furious?
I've heard different numbers on that as well, anywhere from 800 to 1,200. I just don't know. I think we start off with a number of about 2,000 that will put into inappropriately put into the stream of commerce, and then the number that has recovered, as I've heard, 800 to 1,200, but I don't know.
What would our